process. So if we've got a cap buyer there, what normally happens is we're looking to fade that trade if that's one of the trades that you like doing. The idea is you're going to fade it till we hit approximately the halfway line, and then we start looking for the reversal sell. Because this, in my opinion, and this is interesting because obviously this is what I would now deem to be a very late to the party sell. So this is the kind of party that I don't want to turn up at. So generally, as a rule, that's going to be a fade for me. The arrow points at the open of that candle, not at the end of this candle. That arrow is in the right place when it points, right? It doesn't repaint. So when we've got that trade, the idea now is to sell it at the halfback. So when the price went back above 10, I was ready to now start looking for a sell trade back out of there, and I sold at 10s, 11s. And obviously my target price was now to swing this back to the downside. The basic idea here, of course, is very, very straightforward. At least you're at the right party, but now you're adding a new element. The right party in this case is the seller's party. But that's not that price because I'm buying at that price. The right party is the seller's party. So what I want to do is I want to get into the middle of the crowd and then start joining in. By getting into the middle of the crowd, we're now on the right party at the right price. And technically, the right price might be this entire area, but it obviously normally starts around about the 50 line. Normally. It doesn't always, but normally it does. So you can see that we were in a buy party. See it here? See the buy party? Because of that structural break. So the idea is I'm going to try and buy. So when I look to buy this, of course, I've got that price there. I've got my blue line there. And I had a buy entry resting in this area here. Well, you can see obviously that I would have had to have ran the liquidity in the wholesale price to have achieved that price point. It never happened. What happened was we started to spin. So what I did was as soon as the order flow changed, I went for the buy trade here, for the buy reversal here. You can see that if I sold here, of course, for the reversal, for the fade trade, this was obviously the capper price. If I sell there, I'm going to make some money. Because this is very late to the party. It's supposed to be very late to the party. And the idea is the later it is to the party, the better the opportunity I've got of making money by fading it back towards the party. So in other words, it's got two elements to it. It's got the overall structure, because now what we can do is, because we can see this candle, and because it broke structure, which is what this blue phase is, we can now look to the left and we can recognize something else. A commercial buyer. And because of that, we can highlight this trade area as a commercial buy trade area. And likewise, when I get this sell coming in, I can now highlight this as a commercial sell zone. And it allows me to do a lot of the trade elements that we've already been talking about before. So my little 5-lot trade is now making $800 on that short. So that's pretty good. Nice outcome. We showed you the short earlier. There it is there, just to show you where we got the short sell on to the books on that oil at 79.22. 79.22. Oh, that was the reversal sell. My mistake. So that was the reversal sell. It wasn't the pullback sell. Okay, so we got the reversal sell on. We added into it, and we're off and running. Pretty good trade, isn't it? Pretty good trade. So we know that this is a commercial buy zone. And again, it's up to you how you deal in these areas. But obviously, what I generally, as a rule, do on a large candle like this, I'll generally look to bag some monies. And this is one of the more contentious conversations we had about profit taking and the like. And the basic idea is therefore pretty straightforward, right? Now, obviously, you might say, but this is a nightmare waiting to happen in a market that chops. Well, surprisingly enough, oil's chopped pretty much the entire day, and I've made a profit on every single trade. Almost the entire day, the market's chopped. So we bought there for the fade. The market was obviously in a sell phase. The halfback trade was okay because there's the arrow, right? So if there's the arrow, there's the red line there. I'm going to look to sell the halfback area. So when the price came up to the halfback trade area, I was looking to go short. I got short. I made some money. It had a failed auction, and I closed out my trade. Yeah. there was the buy side breaker structure. So what did I do? I got short. So my first trade was to sell that one. And then there's the blue line there. So what did I do next? I then took it from that price there down to the blue line. And I was then able to find my half-back buy trade area. So there's my half-back buy trade area. So I start looking for that buy reversal to go with the flow. I bought into the half-back buy trade area and it failed on the auction. We managed to make some monies. We took some profits and then it failed out and that was the end of that trade. I've done probably about 30 trades today using this. And every single trade has been in profit almost immediately. Almost immediately. So if that ain't good, I don't know what is good. So this is based on the psychologist's ideas of it. Does it, the idea of being late to the party, getting in the early to the party, and how that means that your psychology is going to be changed. And I thought, you know what, I think we'll keep working on this as an idea because, at the back of it, there's always this desire to make sure you're on the right side of a move. And in this phase here, there hasn't been a right side of the move, but because it incorporates the capper price level, we can still take advantage of that information, can't we? So when you look at the markets, even though we have a very, very kind of flat ranging market, we're still able to take advantage of ultimately some of these trades. So there was the sell trade, there was the buy trade, and there was the break upwards of a beautiful buy trade, wasn't it? And this was this morning. And there was the sell trade reversal. So there was the capper buy, there was a pullback sell, and there was a money shot. And none of these trades have went on past measure. None of them. Not a single trade has gone past measure today, and yet we've made a profit on every single trade today. And guess what? See when it catches? So you can see that we had a buy structure break here. We had a buy in here, and we got a nice rally there. That was in the overnight session. So you can see that there was the structure there. There's the arrow. There's the blue line. And there's your buy trade. You see it? And obviously had an initial target price now in mind there, anyway, right there. So that was a nice measured move. So that was pretty good. Take a look at a big move. Take a look at this big move here. You see the difference? See the buy structure break there, and it meant that we were buy side only, and that was on Monday. Look at all those buys that I managed to get in terms of Monday. You see the idea that there's only a buy trade in that chart. It never reverses to a sell until last night. See that? So we get the structure break. We get our first pullback buy trade. And then it's a buy trade, and then it's a buy trade, and then it was a buy trade, and then it was a buy trade, and then it was a buy trade. Guess what all those buy trades were? This was a Momo. This was a Momo. This was a spring. This was a spring. And this was a spring. So we basically had all of those buy trades going from 77.80s to 78.80s. We had all those add-ins all the way through that entire process. We made a fortune on Monday. Absolute fortune. And I added, 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 and we ended up making a killing on it. Bank holiday Monday. Absolute killing. It kind of reminds me of Eusebio. Because this is the kind of trade that Eusebio would be just would be smiling down on. He'd be saying, finally, you guys get it. Finally, you guys are understanding the idea of adding to winners. Because this is exactly what you should be doing in these areas with this type of narrative. The idea of adding to winners is one of the most important aspects. And it was quite clear that Charlie D, that was the one thing that Charlie D said. Did you add to winners? When you finally add to a winning trade, you finally know you've been successful. You finally know you've arrived as a professional trader when you start adding to winning trades. And we'll obviously talk about this trade idea. I think Eusebio, was it not tiger trading or something he called it? Tiger trading? I can't remember.
Moonshot.